Hi everyone, it's Fjordström. Today we'll take a look at the iPad mini 2019, the 5th generation, and along with that we'll also be unboxing the Case Logic Snapview for the generation 4 and 5, so the 5 being this 2019 iPad mini. So this is the 64GB iPad mini with just Wi-Fi, and it's time to unbox this thing. So let's just, here we go, it just slides off. And this is surprisingly thin. I mean, look how thin this is. I'll just take off the plastic first. Yeah, this is a whole unboxing experience. So this is it. This is the iPad mini, which really just fits in my hand, which is very cool actually. My iPad Pro, for example, is quite heavy, honestly. I mean, of course, it's still very light compared to a computer, but this thing is really super light. It's actually very fun to hold this thing again. It still has the classic design though. I mean, this is still the same design as my iPad Air 2, but I'll still compare the iPad Air 2, the iPad Pro, and this here size-wise just in a few minutes, but this is how it looks like. We'll come back to this in a second. First, what else is in the box? Well, as usual, you have this Designed by Apple in California tab. There it is. Yeah, just in case you don't know, it's an iPad mini. And normally, where are the stickers? Everyone wants stickers. Here they are. Yeah, they're a bit stuck in here. There they are. These seem like smaller stickers. If I compare them to the one that came in with my iPhone, these are the ones that came with my iPhone. These are larger. So that's just a side note. These are smaller ones, which I personally prefer. I like smaller ones to stick, let's say, on cases or something. What else is in here? We have the adapter, which is, I think, a 12. It should be 12. Yeah, no, it's a 10-watt USB adapter. So 10 watts for the iPad mini. But good to know though is that the iPad mini also supports fast charging. So you could also buy the 18-watt adapter from Apple, which is USB-C to Lightning. I mean, the cable you still pay separate actually. But then you can also use it for your iPhone and so on. So you could also buy that one, or even the 30-watt USB-C charger for the MacBooks. Anyway, I'll definitely be using this, and then this cable over here, which is just a standard USB-A to Lightning port. So let's just turn it on. I won't be showing you the setup process. If you want to see how an iOS device gets set up, you can watch my iPhone 11 setup video or unboxing video. And now we're going to open this Case Logic Snapview. Yeah, it supports turning on and off your screen, which is of course very important. There it is. So this is the red, more kind of dark red iPad mini 5 and 4 case. Oh, it's flexible. That's cool. It's all like slightly rubberized. It's not just cheap plastic. It feels good. And if you'll now just insert this. And if I close this, yeah, it goes on and off. Now, so this is how it clicks, this is how it closes. So if you drop this, the case won't open automatically, or won't accidentally open, as it's not only using, well, it's not really using magnets, it's using this clip here at the back. And there's enough space for all the holes that are there. So you have the camera bump, or it's not really a bump, it's just the camera hole. You have this microphone hole, I'm not sure if it's visible, but this here is a microphone, so there's a hole for that. There's one more microphone hole over there. Then we have the headphone jack, which, yes, it still has the headphone jack, a power button, and at the bottom, of course, you have enough space around the Lightning ports. Here there's nothing. Here, there's the volume keys over here. So if you compare the bezels on the iPad Air 2 versus the iPad mini, they can see that they have the same height. They're the same, they're as thick actually on the iPad Air 2 as on the iPad mini. So that's something you can kind of use as a comparison. First, the sides though are thinner. So this here is slightly less wide as on the iPad Air 2. Luckily, otherwise it would be even wider. Now if you compare it to the iPad Pro 11-inch, of course, it's kind of weird to compare, but still, you never know. Just as a reference, we have this over here, this 11-inch iPad Pro, and you have this 7.9-inch iPad mini. So it's like a younger brother of the iPad Pro. Now what I'll do now though is I'll still set up this iPad. I'll just set up very quickly and let's do a Geekbench test on all 3 of them at the same time. That would be interesting. Now before we get into the Geekbench test, something very important to show you though is that this runs iOS 12. So when you buy this one, or at least until now it is still shipped with iOS 12.4, while these two are running iPadOS 13.3 Beta 1. Now of course normally the results should still be similar, but just something that you should know. So let's get started. Run, and run. And the iPad Pro is done first with a multi-core score of 4,626 and a single-core score of 1,114. And here's iPad Mini 5 now with a score of 2,848 and a single-core score of 1,117, which means that the single-core scores between the iPad Pro 11-inch and the iPad Mini are very similar, probably because they just have they both have the A12X or A12 Bionic chip, but they have the same clock speed, so that's probably why. But the multi-core score is definitely way higher on the iPad Pro, and the iPad Mini has the same power as the iPad Air. The iPad Air isn't here now, I mean the 3rd generation iPad Air, but that one also has the A12 Bionic chip at the same clock speed. So those two are very similar. The iPad Pro is definitely still the most powerful one, and here is the iPad Air 2. Oh, that's a huge difference. Single core score of 382 and a multi-core score of 1054. So that means that the iPad Air 2 has a multi-core score which is even lower than the single core score on both the iPad Pro and the iPad Mini. So yeah, this is actually an evolution of 5 years, and it's really impressive actually how much powerful the devices have become. One more thing before I put this away is that iPad Air 2 though, although it seems like a lower score, still runs iOS 13 quite well. And iPadOS 13 is the 6th OS for this device, which is really impressive from Apple. I mean, 6 years of updates is really impressive. By the way, if you want an in-depth iPad Air 2 video, there's one over here right now. Now, this also means that this is the end of the video. We looked at the unboxing, we did a Geekbench test to look at the specs, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. Are you going to buy an iPad Mini, or do you prefer something else? Are you doubting between iPads? Just leave a comment. Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this video useful. Also consider subscribing, and see you in the next video.